I don't know, but we've got Skred Red here tonight. This one recently 5-0'd with Tisp, or Teaspoon, depending on how they want to be called. Either way, it was talked about a little bit in the Red Prison Discord, and plenty of people ask for Skred. All right, you get Skred. What was interesting here, though, is it had things like Chandra's Regulator, and I'm not convinced this is the right card we should be doing, but you never know. Chandra Regulator activating and doing an emblem is always kind of a fun thing to do. So, and it can happen. But what do we have in front of us? We have this very interesting mix of cards. And what's interesting is that we've even talked about this in Red Prison, where Skred and Red Prison are getting into this territory where it's like, hey, I can actually kill things, but then use that kill spell for later in the game. And what I'm talking about here is Fury. Fury has been performing well above my standards, but I'm not convinced that it belongs in every list. I think it is very dependent on what it is you're lacking in your list. And whatever you're lacking, this can fill that. What's also interesting is anytime you play a bridge list, which we do a lot of, Fury is this kind of weird card that helps you not have cards you can't cast in hand, which sometimes can be a problem against Thalia lists. Now, humans isn't as prevalent right now, but what's interesting here is that you can exile and cast this and get around Thalia, kill Thalia, and then play like a Blood Moon, a Bridge, or something at 3 that would be harder to cast. Now we're ditching, and you're seeing slowly most lists that are in this red destroy things try to get in for damage. We're cutting the Desperate Rituals and Pyretic Rituals. You'll notice Storm in general hasn't been very prevalent either in the meta, and I think that's just because these cards are just not ideal. And you have things like Sanctifier messing those up for the graveyard lists that are in the red and black categories. And red and black was always big on graveyards, but also just in general, you need a lot more, as I like to say, not hot air in your lists. You have to be doing something proactive every turn. That's why I'm a little bit worried about Chandra's Regulator. We'll see how it goes. I was a little bit disappointed that we're playing Chandra's Regulator and Chandra Torch of Defiance and no other Chandras, but I'm thinking that this is going to be more or less used to basically loot. And sometimes red struggles with keeping up because we don't have the best loot engine. Now, we did just get Monkey. You'll have seen I've been playing some Monkey in some of the lists just to see if that would give us the card advantage we need or the mana acceleration that we need. And in cases it does, in some cases it doesn't. I'm claiming bottom mid of the map. Whatever, Zale. Maybe I'll just delete your base. No other Chandra, no other Chandras in this list. It's not really Chandra tribal here. It's Skred. We're focusing on Snow permanent, Skred, and kind of Koth, actually. In a way, Koth can get us there. It's just kind of interesting. More or less, the Skred is our removal, gives us enough time to place down a Chalice and lock our opponents out, while being a bigger deck with Furies and Chandras. No dragons. That's typically what Skred would do. Basically, Fury is starting to be better than almost all dragons. What's funny with Control is they're still playing Aether Gust, making Chandra, 6-mana Chandra, really disappointing to play. We've got Boils for that. I don't think there's much else to say here. It's a Skred list. We have Chalice, Bridge, and Blood Moon, which makes it like Skred Prison a little bit. We don't have Karn, which is one of my favorite cards to be playing in Prison styles. So we have to treat this a little closer to its Skred brother, if you will, being that we're going to try to destroy things. Nice to see a few Abrades in here as well. I do like this card. This card's fairly versatile. Pretty good. I do see a Goblin Crater Maker. This one's a little bit of an oddball here. No Void Mirror, but we also have Blood Moon, so Tron type of list shouldn't be a problem. A couple of Dragon's Claws. I'm guessing this is for the resurgence of Burn that we're starting to see in the meta. We'll see if that happens. Bunch of Relics. That's pretty typical of Skred, but I'm done talking. Talk too much. Let's go play Magic. Not the 2-player queues. The league. What's up, Nydia? How's it going? I'm doing all right. I'm tired tonight, but we're doing all right. Yeah, 6 mana Chandra could be interesting. I actually personally like Heart of Fire a lot more in lists like this. I know that's not counterable, but Heart of Fire does a good a good set of things to destroy opponent's stuff. Love that card. I think that card is still semi underrated in the meta. But let's see how it goes here. Match 1 here. Opponent is Island and Chill at 2-2, and we're 0-0. Let's Dream Crush someone with this play. We'll keep this hand as well. We have a removal. We have Chandra's Regulator. We got enough lands here as well. Looking like an okay start here for this evening. Hopefully everyone's enjoying their Friday, and if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching on YouTube. It's now happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Saturday, Sunday if you're being lazy. Mountain played here past turn. We'll see if Magic Online behaves tonight and my ISP. The other night it was not happening and it was tiring. Botanical Sanctum, Grief, exiling Grief. I have no idea what we're playing against. We'll probably see our Blood Moon disappear here. We could see Chandra's Regulator. This isn't white or black, so Grief is going to go away. Some weird stuff happening across the board here. Sultai, I'm guessing, because we see the Grief, and we have blue and green. I have to imagine it's Blood Moon. Maybe they don't want us to be using Regulator, though. Bridge might be good, too. I mean, this is a creature. Maybe they're like some Sultai Reanimator list. We'll be ready for that later. Oh, Zale, you'll be happy to see I have Spyglasses. We've come to win the game this time. We've come to win. We'll play our Regulator past turn. We draw another mountain. Plenty of lands here. We only have to really get to, I'd say 4, but we actually have Fury we can cast, so 5 as well. Opponent cycles here. This makes me think it's some sort of living end list, which means I want to prioritize this bridge next. Hopefully they don't steal this away. This also means to me that they probably have Petty Theft as the way they get rid of bridge. So if we do find Chalice, we'll try to throw it on 2 sooner rather than later. We'll play bridge right now before anything gets stolen again. My opponent cycles a River Winder, and it looks like the turn will pass back to them. Like I said, I think it's going to be Brazen Borrow or Petty Theft style to remove the bridge. So I'm probably looking for another chalice, a chalice or another bridge. I only have 2 bridges as this list. I'm probably supposed to go ahead and activate Regulator here. Get rid of Chandra's Regulator. We don't need 2 of those cards. This card is okay. It's not great. I can throw the Bone Crusher at something, so I'm not too concerned about actually needing to do anything with this Bone Crusher just yet. Can also be a loot away, and we may be looking at the top card anyway. After all, this is a 5/5, this is a 4/4, and this is a 3/2. 3/2 gets killed by the Bone Crusher, and the rest are pretty much too big for bridge. 3 mana is good to see here. Make the red, Cascade. Spin some stuff here. Gets a, what I presume will be a living end. Does so. What's cute here is Grief comes into play. We're going to go ahead and kill the Grief. And then they end up taking my Shatter Skull Smashing, which actually leaves us fairly close to empty-handed here, which is nice. Again, Brazen Borrow, they bounce, they hit me for 9. They're going to need kind of 2 versions of this Brazen Borrower style, if that is what they have to get out of this bridge. They didn't take the bridge. That doesn't mean that they don't have an answer for it. Or sorry, they didn't take the bridge, so they probably have an answer for it. They probably didn't have an answer for Blood Moon based on their mana base. We'll probably do some looting here too. After all, I'm trying to find... That's actually a pretty good one. Let's go ahead and loot the snow-covered plains here. We have plenty of mana. I'll hold Scrying Sheets. No, I can't. We'll play Scrying Sheets, and then we'll slap down a Blood Moon. Hope that this isn't the turn that they bounce, but even if they do bounce, this is only 9 damage, bringing us down to 11. Feeling fairly safe unless they're able to get rid of another Grief here to take this if this is what they bounce right now. We might be going to game number 2. Tapping mana here. Force of Negation's a good one. They do stop the Blood Moon from coming down. We have 2 Blood Moons remaining in the list. This does mean that Bridge is not bouncing this turn, which is good. Actually, I'm not going to. I'm thinking about Scrying Sheets on my upkeep. I don't think I will do that. Keeping in mind that any mountain I draw ends up being a redraw, which is nice. Opponent's skipping, so they're not bouncing here. This is what I want, so we'll just slap this down on 2 because I think Brazen Borrower is their out. All right, we get the concession. Sweet. All right, so we've just got to beat Living End. We've got Chalice's main, so 0 and 2 are fine. Really, I probably just want to bring in all 4 relics. And it kind of makes me think Fury is just not very good here when we think about it. Like Fury, what does Fury do? Our opponent's not too happy with us, or at least is asking questions. Let's see here. Fury makes me think I can take this out. We want to keep all of our lands here. I'm thinking Bridge because I have no way to fetch for it either is probably fine. And I want to take what, like, just an Abrade out. Like Fury's in Abrades and bring this all in. Skreds can kill stuff. Lightning Bolt could kill something. Blood Moons look good. Chalice looks good. Yeah, I think it's just these. Is there a place where I want to use Fury? Probably doesn't really matter because their creatures are relatively large. He's just wondering if mono red's really a thing. For 4, I mean, there's creatures that are bigger than 4. I don't think, I think Relic is just so much stronger here. This is probably a no keep here. I guess you could evoke a Fury and stuff, but I don't think that's the right play. This looks keepable. We'll get rid of Abrade. And we're probably looking at Chalice on 0 if they don't grief me immediately. That will mean they'll have to have a Brazen Borrower or a Force of Negation immediately. My opponent loves our list. Okay, maybe they're not upset. Just many people tend to be upset. It's a thing. Blood Moon shows up. Street Wraith cycled here looking for a Force of Negation. Do they find it? And they do. Force is here getting rid of a Wind Caller. We have 1 cycle here, so we have Street Wraith and plus the cycle. Cool. All right, we're looking okay. 1 Chalice down. 3 to go. Spire Bluff. Heart from the opponent. All right. So here they take Bridge. Now we're slowly losing this. Top decking a Relic would probably be the best thing. Wow, such Doge. Yeah, most people are just like very upset. And it's It's tough. It's just tough to see. All right, we've got double Skred here. Got some pretty nasty creatures, though, all outside of range. Opponent's cycling a bunch here. They only have 2 cards plus the draw. 2 of those cards were cycle worthy. I'm hoping they don't have it right here. If they're able to cascade right here, I'm in big trouble, I think. All right, well, can you do it? That or I have a Blood Moon in play. They're red with Fury. They had another Force. Okay, so we had to get through another Force. We have 1 card in hand, and to me, if they had the cycle card or the cascade card, I think they'd go for it there. So top of the library is Seasoned Pyromancer. Let's play that down. I'm doing this simply to draw cards. I'll hold on to a Skred, I suppose. Looking for Relic. We miss on Relic. Pass turn. We get a Bone Crusher Giant back. I can Skred my own Seasoned Pyromancer, by the way, which is something that I would entertain doing. My opponent just throws a Brazen Borrower into play. We can wait and just take a few hits from this. That is not frightening at all. Skredding my own Seasoned Pyromancer to redraw 2, digging for answers is what I would end up doing if I get my chance to. In for 3, 18 to 17. Unknown card. Cool. All right. Let's connect or attempt to for 4. Let's attempt a Chalice on 0. And we'll pass turn. Probably Bone Crusher Giant the Brazen Borrower. All right, Chalice on 0 ends up doing it. We have relics somewhere buried in our list. Probably weren't going to find it in time, but it was good to have chalices and relics against our graveyard opponent here. All right, a good start for Skred. Happy to see it. Our opponent was a good opponent. We were worried. We didn't want rage already happening. I think control already hits a nerve for a lot of people. And when you're not blue and doing control things, then it really upsets people usually. And so we usually just kind of let it go over. Kind of just brush it off. But, you know, occasionally someone's like, that's some sweet stuff. So it's good to see that. That's what you want to see. 1-0 going in here to match number 2, playing Skred here in Modern. A thing of 2021. Seems that Skred might still be a little bit of a thing. Uncle DB did not grace us with any predictions, unfortunately, this time. Living End vs. Skred was one of my most memorable games of all time. Nice. You'd much rather lose to Prison and Lantern than Control? I don't know. I feel like Control can be fun, like it's a race. Well, Zale, I know you had predictions, but Uncle DB's predictions are always correct. It's just a prophecy. Uncle DB's been watching so long that they've learned how to predict the future. It's something we teach on this stream. Man, if we go 5-0, I'm just going to go, yep, all right, good night, bye. We won't get to 10-3. Wait, how do you do 10-3? Oh, 10-3 in games. I was like, that's not a multiple of 5. It is impossible. So you're saying we're going to win 10 matches and drop 3 games. That's bold. That's bold, Zale. We are already 2-0. All right, here's a fun one. So we have a Chalice of the Void. We have a non-companion list across from us. Whoops. Oh, that's cool. There. All right. And I don't know. We got Bolt and, you know, pull this back. I mean, these are usually relatively okay, and a Chalice is fine. We can always pitch it with the Seasoned Pyromancer. We'll give it a shot. Why not Skred blue? Hey, Grace, you're talking about swans, and I'm down for some swans too. My opponent mulls to 5 here. It's not very good for them. Maybe they're scared of us. Let's not see Tron lands, please. Blood Crypt's actually really good for us to seed. This is really bad for us to see. All right. We'll go with it. Skred blue. Prize Amalgam Burning Inquiry. Narcomoeba Golgari Thug. This is semi-miserable. Swans, yes. That's the swans I'm talking about. And a Creeping Chill. And my footstool just broke. That's exciting. Yeah! Alright, we have a Gemstone here. Blood Crypts. We've got Shriekhorn doing Shriekhorn things. We're lifing from the loam. I'm just going to Skred this Narcomoeba, because then I can bolt the next thing, which is the Prized Amalgam. I don't see a reason to put a Chalice in on 1 here. I mean, there's Burning Inquiry. That could get really weird. I think I want to go ahead and bolt or Bone Crusher Giant this turn. This is going to be a weird game for sure. I only picked these up because they were printed, and then I could snag them for super cheap instead of having to constantly rent 10 Snowlands every time we wanted to play Skred, which wasn't very often, but... Alright, Footstool. You're off your... What's going on down there? Opponent cycles a Forgotten Cave. There is a Golgari Thug here. There's another Prized Amalgam. That's not very good. Land Shoxin. I sort of hate like killing this, but I know my life total is going to super matter. We're probably playing Seasoned Pyromancer next, getting rid of Bone Crusher Chalice, making blockers. Life from the Loams again. Forgotten, Arid Mesa, and a Mountain go to the graveyard. Alright. The other thing I could do here is Seasoned Pyromancer, Bone Crusher, and a land, trying to get Chalice to 2 to stop the whole Life from the Loam thing. That might be alright. Let's do that. Okay. Fury, Chalice, Seasoned Pyromancer. I don't think that's going to win a game immediately here. Forgotten Cave Cycling. Probably Life from the Loam, because I think that's all they've got. They had an Archamoeba. This brings 2 Prized Amalgams back. There's an Ox down there and a Conflag as well, if you can't see those. 2 Prized Amalgams coming back here. I can use Fury to kill a Prized Amalgam plus an Archamoeba, which is an interesting interaction, and I wouldn't have expected that to be something I could be doing. My opponent has returned Life from the Loam. What's kind of disappointing about the returning of the Life from the Loam, I can stop the cast, but it still goes to the graveyard for dredging later. I'm not sure how effective that'll be. Thankfully, we have 4 relics, and we'll just see if 4 relics is enough to beat this opponent. Chalices will probably not be played. 3 mana? 2 mana Ox, it appears. Ox is a what? 4/3, 5/3? Really don't like the idea of not getting to cash in the Seasoned Pyromancer to draw further to find bridge. Bunch of Golgari Thugs hit. The thing I could do is put a Chalice in for 2, Fury away like Ox, or a Prized Amalgam plus Narcomoeba. And if I do that, I have blockers. The Chalice stops the 2 from the Life from the Loam, making Conflag not as useful. I would have to literally hit Bridge probably as the next card. This is already a very difficult match. They get some Prized Amalgams. 2 to be exact. A lot of triggers, though, for it. Okay. Chandra's not very good. So I could pitch with Chandra, and I could actually play with Seasoned Pyromancer, getting rid of Chalice and the Moon. I need to probably at least generate another creature here. Chandra, I can kill... What can I kill? They have another Ox here. I could kill the 2 flyers. Then I have plenty of blockers. All right, let's go ahead and start with a Seasoned Pyromancer here, ditching Chalice and probably the Snow-Covered Mountain. This does mean I'm probably dead to this card here. All right, land played. I can block. So am I just shooting these 2? Dredge's Life from the Loam goes to 4, then goes down to 3, picks up 3, casts this for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shoots me for 3, 8, 9. 9 puts me to 8. 21 cards to find 2 Creeping Chills, and we've already gone through only 1. I guess I have to kill probably Narcomoeba plus... I don't know if I want to do Ox, or if I want to do the other Narcomoeba, or if I need to do a Prized Amalgam. Let's do the Ox here, because other stuff's just coming back. Really, my opponent's pretty much got the win here with the Life from the Loam, with a Bloodghast here, and they can kind of shoot our board off anyway. And then they have Creeping Chills, and there's almost nothing I can do about this. If they decide not to go with the whole Conflag the team here, oh, snap. There's 2 Creeping Chills. They decide not to just board wipe the team here with this Conflag, then we're probably have a chance, but the chance is so small now. Has to be Bridge into Chalice, it looks like. Which I don't think is happening. So Life from the Loam goes up to 6. They could play a land and get the Bloodghast, ping me for 2, and then ping the rest of the board. So this is Conflag here for 6. Just board wipe here. Hit me for 7. Presenting lethal next turn. So I need Bridge. Bridge or a Fury, it looks like, will give me at least 1 turn here. We're saying all this and they're sitting at 25. 1 Creeping Chill left in their library. 18 cards. Conflags, Life from the Loams. You know, the full gambit of cards for them. I will at least attempt a cycle here. See what we draw. Or at least an ETB here. All right. They have it here. They just dredge Life from the Loam. They can flag us over top because they have another one of these. But if they don't, we'll bolt them. Life from the Loam was dredged. Life from the Loam picks up whatever they want here. We're blocking Prized Amalgam plus Prized Amalgam here. Go ahead and bolt the other Prized Amalgam for fun. My opponent can also play a land here to get 2 Prized Amalgams plus a Bloodghast back, which is a lot. My opponent's floating 2 red here for Ox. They're just looking to hit the last Creeping Chill, which I think they can because they've got 3 of these. Dredge 12. I guess if it's in the bottom 3. If it's in the bottom 3, they just kill me next turn. Good game 1. We'll bring in all of our relics here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really need to be bringing in. Sweltering Suns, I think, is the option in this list. My opponent does find that Creeping Chill. All right, so we have Sweltering, we have Relics. Blood Moon's still good. Bridge is obviously coming in now. Furies seem okay. My Skreds and my Chalices seem a little off. All right. Skred can kill things, obviously, but it's probably what we don't want to be doing. So, Relics, Sweltering, and Bridge. We'll take probably the Chalices out and 2 Skreds. Do I want Shattering Spree? Probably not. Crater Maker, probably not. It would be another blocker instead of like a Skred, but the Skred is going to do the same probably as the Crater Maker. Dragon's Claw, not really. Spyglass, probably not. So it's probably just these swaps. Bridge to make a blocker, obvious reasons. Relic to take care of the graveyard. And a board wipe is a little bit nicer than our spot removal. None of their creatures are really bigger than 3, so Skred versus Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt actually hits face. The hardest part here is we're going to have to somehow stop my opponent. At the same time as stopping them, we're going to actually have to find a way to also kill them by attacking, and that's going to be very hard for us to do. Maybe we can hide behind a bridge, get a Koth or a Chandra Emblem, but that takes so long, and if my opponent's already off with their dredging engine, if you will, then I'm not sure it'll be fast enough. We have to get through Creeping Chills as well, which are difficult to say the least. All right, let's play first. There's a Relic. I'll keep 2 lands and a Relic here. Removal spell and something for the Shriekhorn. I would be willing to bet they'll be looking for Nature's Claim, Ancient Grudge, things like that. They know we're a prison-style list at this point. There we go. The race begins. Arid Mesa for my opponent with no follow-up. All right, we'll play land and we'll just simply pass the turn. Braids and Lightning Bolts open. Well, Arid Mesa here used. What's up, Dylan? You're here. It's good. Good to have you here. It's another Wooded Foothills used here. Blood Crypt, 2 mana. Seismic Swans. My opponent lifes from the loam here. I'm going to kind of let this go. This isn't the scariest thing. It is a dredge card. I don't really care they get to another one because I get to ping off this life from the loam. So they got to land. It's like a Farseek for them. All right, so my opponent Farseeked, and we got him with the relic. And we're just going to pass the turn. We could be playing Chandra soon-ish. I kind of want to leave the relic always open if possible, so we might be waiting a little longer than initially expected. I might have to wait to kill something if they play something, if it's got dredge on it, because cathartic with a stinkweed. That's fine. There's nothing too scary yet. In fact, none of this scares me. We'll be using Relic slowly, but yes, we'll be using Relic here. We don't have a guarantee of a land in the top two, so we're not going to pop it to then play Chandra. Nice and easy game here. I have so much spot removal here too. I'm fine with like a Bloodghast showing up here. I'm fine with, you know, a couple creatures like an Ox showing up here. Really, I want to pop this Relic when there's something very frightening that's in my opponent's graveyard. So until that happens, you may play a land and we'll just keep playing. You may have a Bloodghast. There's no prize amalgams, nothing like that. Got a little fetch going on here. That's nice to see. What do we need? 5, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. My opponent hard cast Creeping Chill. I'm going to go ahead and kill the Bloodghast here. It's not a good spot for them to be in. I'm going to go ahead and do more than shock, and I'm going to get a Fury down, or Chandra down. Season Pyromancer's okay here. We'll go ahead and go after their graveyard and pass back. Now we have an active Chandra. We've got the Bolt still to remove something here. Nothing scary in their graveyard just yet. There's 6 cards other than Ox. Bolted in. Opponent's got a Stomping Ground. Are we going to shock? Are we not? Bloodghast looks like it's coming back again. We could actually get this Fury down using Chandra mana too, which is nifty. Hardcast Creeping Chill again. Okay. The Bone Crusher Giant. Let's go up here and get a Fury into play. This leaves me with Bone Crusher, a Braid, Lightning Bolt, or the Relic. Guess we'll fire this off. Again, this Bloodghast hasn't been a problem so far. Keeping one card in check every time just to keep Ox from coming back. And again, Ox wouldn't be the worst to see. Life from the Loam again. Mana Confluence, Mountain, Arid Mesa. That'd be fine. You may have it. Yep. Already deciding what we want to do. Land, Bloodghast comes back. You got it. If I can get this to 7 and Emblem, then I'll feel pretty good. Then we may end step Relic and blast them for infinity. Infinity. One more red mana here. My opponent gives me the turn back after cleanup step. Let's a mountain into play. We're gonna put mountain of our own down. Let's attack for 3. A little more than 3. Up for damage here. Sweltering, I can cast, but I can't cycle, so 2 more. I think I just hold here. I've got 3 removal spells. I've got a relic to keep the graveyard in check, and I've got Chandra Emblem about to happen. There's very little I care about happening here. To infinity and beyond, exactly. Looks like this relic was a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2. We have an Ancient Grudge over here. It's a Bloodghast. That's fine. We can deal with the Prize Amalgam near the end of the turn. All right, they Ancient Grudge the relic, so we are going to go ahead and exile now. This means they're not getting Oxes. Another spell that's castable here. We currently have 5 damage that goes upstairs, which is really good. All right, opponent, this is your turn. What do you got? You need to deal with Chandra somehow, that's for sure. Conflags to the graveyard here. Okay. Pings this for 1 or 2, and this for 3. That'd be 5, 6 cards. Arid Mesa, all right. At 10, and I have 5 in hand. It's a Blood Crypt. If they shock, they'll be at 8, putting them to basically a virtual 3. I feel like they've got to deal with the Chandra here. Red-green. That's fine. Life from the Loam. Puts a card into their hand for Conflag. For 6. 3 and 3. 3, 2, 1. Attack for 2. A Braid. One thing that could happen is like some random Burning Inquiry and then hitting a bunch of Creeping Chills. That would mess up our math a whole bunch. This is double red. Wonder if they just go all my face here. That would mean they're dead. So they got to throw 1 here. And I think they have to throw 3 here. So that's 4 of the 6. It's wherever they want to put the other 2. Three, 2, and they throw 1 here. Okay, makes a hasty Bloodghast. We'll go ahead and Abrade. So I do 2 here, and this is 5. I'm 1 short. Let's see what's on the top. A Relic would like probably end this game. All right, Snow Cover Mountain. We're gonna go ahead and stomp them here, and I'm gonna go ahead and play the Bone Crusher Giant out, so I have at least a creature. They do have Prized Amalgam plus Bloodghast. I don't think having only 1 removal spell is going to hurt us here, but we'll find out. I think having the Bone Crusher Giant's really good, and if my opponent takes any damage here, we're good. Like a fetch. Mana Confluence or something like that. If they find a Creeping Chill, we might lose. Life totals are close. All right, no Creeping Chill. They dredged a Stinkweed Imp. What do we have in the graveyard? We're going to do Ox here. So we're going to do Ox, it looks like. I can't do anything about that. No Creeping Chills, please. No Creeping Chills. What are they going to do? Stinkweed and Life? Stinkweed, Prize Amalgam, Bloodghast. So they're going to what appears to be natural. No, they'll dredge once for 5, and then we'll see. Oh, and they discard a Stinkweed. That's nifty. There's a Narcomoeba. There's another Narcomoeba. I think I dodged it. I think I dodged the Creeping Chill. Did you say Creeping Chill too much? Nah, I'm trying to will it out of existence. Okay. We do have Conflag for 3. Two mana. Life from the Loam. Life from the Loam gets the Bloodghast. We have Forgotten Cave. We have a Blast Zone. We have a Wooded Foothills. Okay. Did we do it? Blast Zone's kind of a scary one. If we were to get multiple relics down, the Blast Zone could take care of them all. Cycles of Forgotten Cave. We're going for it again. Stinkweed. No, they found one. It's all my fault. All right. There's a Wooded Foothills. Okay, so the Abrade, this all comes into play tapped. That Hasting Bloodghast is fine. So I need to probably Abrade the Ox here. Yeah, this all comes in. That's fine. So I need to Abrade, I believe. Okay. Fury? Scrying Sheets. Okay. So I go up. I need this to connect, so I have to find a Fury. Fury cost 5 off of Chandra, so if I use the 2 plus Scrying Sheets, I still have 5 left over. So I can use Scrying Sheets to at least scry the top card here. Looking for Fury. And I say scry, it's just gets past a card. No! It's a Blood Moon. All right, is there a way I can live here? Block, shoot, 3, 4, 5 plus Conflag. Conflag just kills me anyway, doesn't it? This does 2. That puts them to 5. This is 3. They fetch. If I shoot this, I attack. They have to block. That gives them 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm getting conflag. Well, I could be getting conflag for a lot more. Trying to see if I can buy myself one more turn or not. I don't think I can. I needed Fury. Because if I could Fury, I could hit these two. I guess this was wrong anyway, because if I Fury for 5, I don't have the Lightning Bolt. So I wouldn't have been able to kill them. Maybe they'll mess up here. I don't think they will. They're flagging me for 5. Relic wasn't enough. Dredge is a very hard matchup for all the red decks. If we would have found another Relic, things would have been really much better. So it looks like we're going to be 2-1. Or no, 1-1. There's another creeping chill. Wonder if I popped the Relic too soon. What is this feeling Dredge is giving you? It's always beating us. We never found our bridge either. We did find our one sweeper, but it was the wrong time. The wrong time. Well, Zale, your prediction's incorrect, Zale. We're 1-1 now. Uncle DB's is looking pretty good. Oh, Dredge. Dredge. Yeah, because I don't have any other time to take that Relic off. They have the Ancient Grudge. Do I do it before they cast it? I don't think so. Unsure. Here comes the 5-0. We're already past it. We're only 1-1. It's impossible. We can still do well. Look for that 4-1. All right. We get to play first. It's a lot of lands. We'll see what happens. We'll use Season Pyromancer to dig us some more. Opponent immediately mulligans the 6. 1-1. I guess it's another way to use the 1-lander. I guess that's another way to use it. Okay, opponent. What are we playing against here? And yeah, we haven't run into a lot of Dredge. Yeah, it's a lot of lands here. Spire Bluff Canal. Okay. Oh my gosh. We didn't play this person already, have we? It's a living end again. Chalice or Blood Moon right here, please. Chalice or Blood Moon? None. Let's play Season Pyromancer, getting rid of Bone Crusher, and probably this Abrade now. Chalice? No Chalice. We could put Chandra's Regulator down and get a Fury down. This will be interesting. Time to invest in some Rip. We have 4 relics. You would think that's enough. All right, we have a little Shardless Agent here. Looks like we're going to be living ending again. Okay, we get a Bone Crusher and they get 2 creatures. This all seems fine to me. Got a 4/4, a 3/4, and a 2/2. All right, so new chalice on 0 here. I kind of want this Fury to resolve. So I think I'm going to put this into play tapped. Play a regulator down for the future and plan to bolt. We'll probably block here. We can work on bolting this later. Oh, they forced that. Okay. You got it. You got it. I can block here, block here. Do I just bolt this then right now? I'll probably wait. Let him untap. And then shoot this for 4. Misty. I'm actually feeling decent. I'm going to block. Feeling decent here that I'm going to get to play a Fury into this board state. Let's try a bolt here. Who wants a bonus chalice? Hardcast Fury. Four damage. Cool. Okay, so we've got a 3/3 here. My opponent can start to hardcast some of their creatures. They do have enough mana. It's just a matter of what are they going to be doing to get those hardcasted. Petty thefting the chalice is a problem, but petty thefting Fury would be okay. We'll see if I get the chance to put it on 2 or not. Looks like I will have a window here. We did that earlier, so we're very familiar with the chalice on 2. My opponent evokes a Grief here. So evoking this gets rid of my 1 card in hand. It seemed a little aggressive. I had 1 card. Seemed rude. Okay. Pretty empty board here. I have the Seasoned Pyromancer that I can get the tokens back with. I'm hitting for 6 a turn. It's a 3-turn clock. It's 8 the next turn if I bring the Seasoned Pyromancer tokens in. Oh. Oh. Like, I just play this, right? Just a set of 3/3s here. That looks good. We are now presenting lethal. That was an A-OK draw. My opponent will have to have exactly Petty Theft in the living end. A cycle waiver. Okay. That doesn't do it, right? Cool. I'm rereading the card like, does this do it? All right, so living end it is. Chalice was good. We talked about how Abrades and Skreds were kind of eh. We ended up bringing in Relics, and I think we're going to do something similar. Relics and Bridge again, so it's 5. I'm going to take, what? Let's take 2 Bolts out this time, 2 Chandra's Regulators, and 1 Abrade. That seems all right. We'll submit that. You're just taking out kind of the lower end here. I guess if the game goes long enough, the Skreds could be powerful enough to kill some stuff. Like I said, unlike Dredge where it's 3, I guess here it's a little more powerful. Looking to put Chalice on 0, 2, have Relics, put Bridges into play, maybe a Blood Moon. At that point, I think we just casually, eventually just cast something big and win. Let's make it happen. Hand looks fantastic. I'm going to keep it. Hand looks fantastic. Couldn't be happier. There's a breeding pool. My opponent cycles a Street Wraith pretty immediately here and follows this with cycling a Curator. Play our Mountain, put a Relic down. I'm going to go ahead and use the Relic immediately. It's one less creature to worry about. My opponent might have a Force. They do not. So the Relic should save us. We might delay one turn on Blood Moon to keep Relic available to get rid of the graveyard. All right, my opponent Force of Vigor is our Relic. We will immediately play Blood Moon when we get the chance. They exiled another Force. We are going to just play Basic Mountain. We have lots of Blood Moons now. So they didn't force the Relic, but they had the Force of Vigor. And obviously Force of Vigor is a problem for our future Blood Moons, but they've used one already. Opponent cycles what appears to be 2 creatures. We have a 5/5, a 4/4, a 3/3. A lot of these cards are problematic. All right, if they have the instant speed Cascade, that's what they've got. Otherwise, we might get them here with the Blood Moon. All right, it appears they have the instant speed one. Living Ends. Okay, so we have a flyer here. We need to just stop ourselves from dying to all of this. I wonder if I should Fury now to get rid of the 4/4 flyer, so I just take 5 + 3. Means I don't cast this later to help kill this, but the Bone Crusher Giant plus Seasoned Pyromancer tokens might be enough. So I think I'm going to go ahead and exile a Blood Moon here and take care of the flyer. I will not, apparently. I will not. I'm going to top this. I can get rid of the Shatter Skull Smashing to the Fury, and then I can play Seasoned Pyromancer to create tokens, giving me time and blocking the 5/5. Basic Island's extremely powerful for them. Slow my roll. I'm taking 12. I'm going to 8. My roll can't be slowed. Gotta kill that flyer. And then we'll play a Seasoned Pyromancer and at least have a couple blockers here. We gotta find a way to defend ourselves. That'll actually do it. I can block here, and I have 4 snow permanents. So I can take 0 damage here if I want. And I think that's what I want to do. It's probably the best, right? I can kill the 3/3 with a few cards here. Go ahead and Skred. Oh, this has hexproof. I should be chumping. Whoops. Whoops. Okay, bridge, save us. Okay. Got a little lucky there. Forgot the card has hexproof. Usually you're just getting killed by these things. All right, now we have to avoid a petty theft here. Even if they petty theft, I replay the bridge immediately the next turn. So a chalice or a second bridge here probably spells doom for them. Extra land's good here because now I can see some Pyromancer tokens back to block Riverwinder. Yeah, that bridge saved my punt. I was just getting empty-handed. Okay. I'm really nervous about like a force of negation and the petty theft. So I'd really like another bridge or a win condition. Let's get a Chandra, Koth, something. It's none of those. I'm going to hold this land. They don't have really 1x creatures. This is in case I draw a regulator, and that can help me kind of cycle through my cards a little bit. So holding one card here can't, I don't think will not hurt us. I'm very afraid of another island. I think we can F6 through this turn. Well, it's not like I'm doing anything, so, you know. Okay. Let's just attempt to stomp upstairs and then play Bone Crusher Giant. Gives me an extra blocker. And then I get to hit the F6 button. Cool. Trying to dodge my opponent getting another like living end going here. I guess I have a Fury down there, but then they'd have a lot more creatures. Uh-oh. Petty theft? Bye-bye Blood Moon? Dangerous if they have another card here. Opponent reconsiders bouncing something. So say if I hit 2 more lands, then I can play the Chalice on 2 and get a bridge. Back down if they bounce. We're doing something on their turn. Cycles. Okay. I believe that they drew that. All right. Play the land here. The Abrade is now the card that I can throw away or hit something maybe with. Noting I can hit my own creatures with the Abrade. Okay. Passing it back. Okay. If I could hit the hexproof creature, we'd be golden here. I should be able to kill anything that shows up, just about. So we're good there. My opponent, if they were able to get the graveyard going again here, we'd be kind of in a little bit of trouble because it's a lot of creatures. They petty theft my Blood Moon. All right. My opponent has a lot of different colors unlocked here. I have 2 ways to kill this Brazen Borrower. Them bouncing Blood Moon makes me feel really good. It's not bridge. And I'll just be replaying Blood Moon next turn. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and try to hit this right now. Gets the card out, and if my opponent wants to keep the Brazen Borrower, they have to force this here. Forcing it loses another card for them. This allows me to probably safely scrying sheets as well. What's next, opponent? Grief. So they're going to take my Blood Moon? It's probably okay. They probably have one Force of Vigor left, and they're needing their green mana to get to this. Bye, Blood Moon. Okay, Foundation Breaker here. ETBs, there goes the bridge. Okay. I would probably double block this if they attack. They just skip attacking. Let's go ahead and activate Scrying Sheets. Now we need to dig. I guess a land. Well, Blood Moon. All right. Okay, so we have a Blood Moon here. Let's do 2 and Scrying Sheets here. This still allows me to play Blood Moon. See if I can get a land. It's a Seasoned Pyromancer. We'll play Blood Moon here and pass the turn. The Skred only hits the 2/2 right now. Cool. All right, they're back down to an island. We're back to this game again. I'd probably like chump and block this turn because I know a Seasoned Pyromancer's coming. I can't decide if I should double block this or not. Maybe I should. I'll double block. I've got a Seasoned Pyromancer coming. This is impossible for me to kill anyway, and it puts my Bone Crusher Giant in the yard. All right, question is, do I want a creature or do I want to get rid of this? If I get rid of this, it comes back and kills things. So I'll probably just take a creature. We're trying to like relock our opponent out, not necessarily just remove things. Well, we'll test if that's a Force of Negation and a blue card. It is not. All right. We're back to where we were not long ago, except now they don't have a hexproof creature. This creature is slightly more dangerous, though, if it ends up in the graveyard. 12-8. Can I get a Chandra or Koth? No, thanks. I think if they were to spin the wheel on me, I would love to use Seasoned Pyromancer and kill it with a Skred, but they'll have a Grief coming into play. I don't know if I'm supposed to kill this and try to attack or not. You know what? Let's hope for the best. Killing this puts me at a big risk of them getting the bridge back. I'm gonna just gonna risk it. Play our Bone Crusher here. The benefit for killing that and going for it is it does make it essentially a 2 more turn clock, and it should be only 1 more turn. No, I wouldn't have attacked with the 2/2. Or would I have? All right. Doesn't appear to matter. We've got it. So the list can beat Living End. That's good. That's good. We can beat Living End with Skred. I would hope we could, though. We've got many relics. 2-1. 2-0-0-2-2-0. What a ping-pong-y kind of match. Back and forth, back and forth. What's next? Dredge? Probably. Probably a dredge. Let's go. Let's find the next match. And it was found. All right, we're 2-1. We're playing Spanish Elephants. Looks like we are on the draw this time around. We've got a Bolt, plenty of mana, Chalice, no companion for my opponent. We'll keep. Let us see what we're playing against this time. Opponent starts with a Darksteel Citadel, Ornithopter, Bobble, Frogmite. All right. That's a really good draw. We're going to Chalice on 0 here. I'm going to go ahead and Bolt the Frogmite, and we're going to pass the turn. So we're playing against the Affinity list. I'm feeling fairly confident with some Abrades and Bolts and Skreds that we'll be able to take this list down with very little issues. Opponent goes Drawling. They need help. And if it happens to be more of a Sigarda's Aid list, which I doubt seeing the Frogmite, we've got the Abrade to take care of either the Ornithopter or the big problematic hammer. My opponent plays a Mistvault Bridge. Things are getting laggy again. We'll pass turn. We dropped a few frames. Stop it. Don't do this to us tonight. We're doing well. We're 2-1. Another Darksteel. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4 lands here. Or 4 artifacts, sorry. Mirror Enforcer. It's a 4-4 that I will be happy to kill here. Let's go ahead and destroy target artifact. Bam. All right. It's a Fury. You know what? We're just going to pass the turn. I shouldn't need to worry about too much more here. I can play Chandra next turn. I was thinking about ditching, like, Shatter Skull plus something else, but I don't think I'm going to need to. There's a Shadow Spear. I know, my ISP's been, like, blah lately. Are we going to connect Shadow Spear here so my opponent can attack? Okay, that's fine. It's 4-4. If I get another red card here, I mean, I could also pitch Fury, shoot this, shoot that. A Bone Crusher Giant. So pay 3 life here. I'm going to go ahead and Chandra. And then I'm going to Fury pitching Bone Crusher, I think. If I were to go up, it's a 5-5 they equip and kill. The other thing is I could go up and then I could do Fury Pitch. Let's go for the big play here. We're gonna pitch Seasoned Pyromancer here, using Fury to do 4 here. Then I can do Bone Crusher on Ornithopter. My opponent just won't have anything left. And then my Chandra will be closer to an emblem, which makes this game end quicker than dirtling around. Ta-da. Plus, my opponent has 1 card in hand. And if it happens to be another Sojourner or a Mirror Enforcer, we can Chandra down tick and kill it as well. What's up, Own Bare Hands? How goes it? All right, opponent doesn't do anything. Blood Moon's not exactly the strongest card here. Doesn't do a whole lot. Lightning Bolt doesn't either. Let's just play a Bone Crusher Giant and pass the turn. It's a good 4/4. We're hitting for 6 a turn. 3-turn clock here. Chandra's here to kill anything that the Shadow Spear tries to attach to. Springleaf Drum for my opponent. That's a non-worry card there. Up we go. Chandra's Regulator is real fun with our Chandra being at 7. We'll play this for fun. Who's ready for double emblem and win next turn? Who's ready? Let's see if they let me do it. Winning double the emblem. Cast the Blood Moon for 10. My opponent puts an Urza Saga into play. Looks like we're playing more. We're going to at least get to play an emblem, the Chandra, and use Chandra as a regulator. You know, just some Chandra things. Play our land for the turn. We will emblem. Chandra regulator here. Of course. Double emblem. Yes. Nice. Blood Moon? Hit ya for 10. 10 ya. There you go. That's a what we like to call win more. I was cautious of the regulator. Yep. Just didn't know if it would really benefit us. It was tough to say. All right, we have Shattering Sprees and Goblin Crater Makers for this matchup. Maybe even a Sweltering Sun. Chalice on 0, it still seems okay. I probably don't need as many, though. I guess I can bring a Bridge, too. I mean, do I even need this? Let's just get rid of Chalice. And you know what? Let's keep Chalice in. Blood Moon's not that good here. Or at least, well, they had Urza. Hold up. Chalice real bad here. And regulator. Is that a flavor win? I don't know. Is it? Probably. It was pretty strong. Whatever style of win it was, that was pretty strong. All right, seems like good changes here. Chalice on 0 might have stopped 1 or 2 cards there. It's got some usability. We're gonna just rely on Shattering Spree though. Hey, Hope333, thank you for resubbing here. 2 months, 2 is a good one. Let's mulligan the no-lander. We'll keep this. Get rid of the Blood Moon. All right, let's see them dump their hand here. That is, after all, what Affinity does. Mistvault Bridge, Ornithopter, Memnite, Ornithopter. All right, who's ready for my opponent to just hard concede here? Ready? Set. Go. Board wipe. Oh, they didn't concede. They're playing more. They're playing more, ladies and gentlemen. I'm impressed. I'm impressed and proud of our opponent. I probably would have, even in my calm demeanor, flipped the table and been done with the game. But they play on. You go. You go. By the way, we played this affinity list with the treasure vaults. Treasure vault was, shall we say, okay. The hand is so good, we're not going to even play Seasoned Pyromancer here. I'm just going to hit him and pass turn. Come on, Internet. Hold out for us. I get to yell at my ISP on Monday, I think. It may be time to switch ISPs again. It was a good year and a half run. Hey, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. 2 months. We have 4 artifacts. Thoughtcast, you got it. Hey, thank you for gifting as well to Caustic. What ISP am I using right now? Doesn't matter. They're garbage. Another cranial plating here. This is cruelty to machines. Hand looks fantastic. We'll continue to smash them with the Crater Maker and continue to pass the turn. Thank you so much for the love and support tonight, everyone. It is appreciated. Hopefully we're doing okay. We've only dropped 146 frames. Not bad. Not bad. My opponent's still playing things. Oh. This is literally impossible for me to kill. Do I think red X prison decks are too slow for the current meta? No. Nope. That's why we play them. Pop the plating and Skred it? I really wish I could. This has Metalcraft, and Metalcraft is what? It's like 3 artifacts, and they have this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So we could kill... I'm probably going to abrade a plating and then just have to, like, probably use Crater Maker to kill the other cranial plating. Theoretically, I could start killing lands too, I guess. But I want them to hook up cranial plating here. We have to find what appears to be probably Bridge or get to Koth or Chandra emblems. If we can do either of those, we can get rid of Etch Champion. At which point, we're probably just trying to win the game. Yeah, everything's an art. Well, okay. Urza's Saga is not. But everything else is an artifact land. It's a good idea, though. And this is why Crater Maker's probably having to kill cranial plating. I just need to buy time now. we're like pseudo panicking here. It's a lot of artifacts, by the way. All right. If I draw a land, I can get rid of the Enforcer and the Thought Monitor. I could also Season Pyromancer to try to get rid of some of these. The thick boy. So I do hit the land. Let's go ahead and Skred the Mirror Enforcer here. I'm going to go ahead and bolt the Thought Monitor, I think. Actually, let's go ahead and get rid of the bolts for Fury here. Just kill this and then use Season Pyromancer to dig. We need a dig. We need to pay attention to what we're doing here. We're being dumb. Well, we thought the big board wipe at the beginning would have demoralized them. I guess they had Etch Champion in hand, would be my guess. We'll get there. We'll get there. I have full confidence we'll get there. Nice. Blood Moon's actually pretty good here. It's going to stop the Urza Saga, and then I can shoot the creature they make, which isn't a bad little combination of cards here. I got a few turns here with the Etch Champion. They're not killing me yet. I'm afraid of another Cranial Plating. Cranial Plating, Scary Plating. Welding Jar is a small problem. Other Urza Saga's okay. In for 2. All right, so I'm going to be chump blocking the giant creature here because it's just massive now. I guess the Skred wasn't killing it anyway. All right, so it might kill it sooner. So Blood Moon here to get rid of 2 Urza Sagas here. They're going to make at least 1 creature. I'm going to be chump blocking that. I currently have 7 damage, which would probably just pop the Welding Jar at this point. So we'll see if that works out for us. Obviously not attacking as we're trying to keep our life total nice and high. Land isn't bad here to give me a few more chump blockers, which gives me more time, which is all I need. My opponent plays another Urza Saga, which instantly dies. State beta actions. Another creature's problem. I'll take a Shattering Spree or Bridge off the top. With the idea that it could be a bridge off the top, I need to Skred. No, I don't have to Skred now. Granted, I have no idea what Skred plus something's doing here. I'm going to attempt to Skred the Sojourner. I can't quite kill the Construct. We'll see if they want to Welding Jar this. Land gives me 2 creatures to block with. Looking for Bridge. All right, they do save it. So now Shattering Spree is a little bit better. Bridge? Land? Chandra. 7, 8, 9. Well, I can kill the Sojourner, which gives me 2 blocks if I find land with the Season Pyromancer tokens. This also makes the constructs a 6/6, and so if they miss here, then a second bolt also kills construct. Skred kills construct off the top if they have something as well. Frogmite's not the scariest. 7 in at me, 2 at Chandra. Bridge? Bridge Shattering Spree? Bridge Shattering Spree. Bridge Shattering Spree. Chandra doesn't do it. All right. Well, there you go. Opponent hung in there and got us. Nope, that wasn't it. Bomber. Okay. Etched Champion. I don't have anything for Etched Champion. I really don't. So my only way to beat Etched Champion is Bridge or the emblems. That is it. I'm on the play. Chalice on 0 is slightly more tempting. Probably not wanting Sweltering Sun. Yeah, Chalice on 3 will beat it too. It's a quick clock if we can get to it, so I like it. Bone Crusher's kind of a weird one. I'm going to take 2 Bone Crushers out and take 1 Chalice out. Bone Crusher's interesting because I could attack, they could block with Etched Champion, and I could cast Bone Crusher Giant. So that's something that they could happen. Not how I'm planning for it to work. I'm going to keep this, and we're going to just hope we top deck 1 or 2 more lands. Shattering Spree, Chalice, and a Braid, plus 2 Fury is just a little too tempting here. It's a little too tempting. It's probably one I should be sending back, but the cards are all very strong. We lose this game by probably not drawing lands, but also if my opponent has like maybe 2 Etched Champions. We're hoping the Chalice slows my opponent down here, or the Shattering Spree. That being said, obviously they can just have like 3 lands and an Etched Champion. I really can't do much about that. I would like to play Snow Covered. Also, how is the frames doing? Magic Online's being a little bit slow, and I'm seeing there are some frames drop, but I don't think it's unbearable yet. Opponent plays a Darksteel Citadel. Plays a Springleaf Drum. I'm passing. I'm not going to use a Shattering Spree on just a Springleaf Drum. Looks slow, but not terrible. It's Magic Online is generally slow for me right now too. Hey, look, we both kept 1 landers. It's even to do it that way. All right, now I have a Braid open. I'm just going to pass the turn. I'm not as worried about the Springleaf Drum here. I could throw a Chalice on 1. I don't think they have that many 1-drops other than Springleaf Drum, though. I could be wrong, though. The Treasure Vault is a Cranial Plating. All right. Land, I play Blood Moon. Otherwise, probably Shattering Spree 2 things. Okay. Little Blood Moon action here. This will stop Urza's Saga from being a problem in the future. Let's see here. Let's just see if it's really dropping off. Maybe I do put a Chalice on 1. That would stop 1 Shattering Spree. I don't know if I want to stop those. Now I really don't. I'll just hold it to have another Chalice on 0 if I need to. We'll pass the turn. Are the frames dropping pretty bad? Oh, they are dropping. Dang it. Well, that's because my upload is like 1/4 of what it's supposed to be. Maybe it'll fix itself. I was doing a speed test. What do we think about just Shattering Spree, like Springleaf Drum, Treasure Vault, Citadel here? Because this doesn't have Indestructible anymore, and these are all artifacts. This doesn't say you can't hit lands. Replicate twice here. I'm not so worried about the Springleaf Drum. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Cool. Kind of a pseudo triple stone rain type of effect going on there. If I can hit 2 more lands, getting some Furies down would probably end this game. Nice. All right, opponent has 7 cards in hand. Not really able to do a whole lot. I do hit a land. Because I have Skred, I'm not going to put the Chalice on 1. I'll pass the turn. Needing 1 more land to get Furies going. My opponent finds a bridge. I sort of want to kill this at end step. And I think I'm going to, and we're just going to turn into a land destruction deck here. Why not, right? Destroy the lands. Land? All right. Play a Seasoned Pyromancer. Get rid of what? Fury plus Chalice here. Kind of hold the Skred in case they do get a creature down. Trying to find our next land so we can play Fury next turn. We do find the land. Cool. All right, we have 4 power, and then we have Fury coming down. That'll be 10 a turn, and the game should end fairly quick here. Definitely cruelty to the machines. Definite cruelty. We take it down. That puts us as 3-1. Nice. That was Blood Moon getting rid of Indestructible makes these extremely fragile lands with all of our artifact hate. It doesn't typically go that easily, but I'll take it. So keep your Blood Moons in. 2-1. We've lost 3. Zale predicted that we would lose only 3. That was a prediction. You okay, Doggo? Yeah. Doggo's doing okay. The wife is out and about, and thus Doggo and me. Ooh, it's Gargamel. Zale is random. Zale is random. All right, let's hope the frames are good. If not, we'll have to figure out something else to do. But it's Gargamel. We haven't played against Gargamel in quite some time. Gargamel is watching too. They're a Kahira deck. We're going to go ahead and keep our opening hand here. Kahira is usually elementals today. So we'll keep this as we have some spot removal plus bridge. What's a bit of a disappointment in this matchup is we won't have the way to get rid of the Aether Vial if they were to play that. We're lucky they didn't play that. Onward we go. By the way, I have to stick with my ISP until after the Olympics because we have it for watching the stuff. Then after that, I'll look at switching. We're done. I think Zale was the one that said, look at you, you're lucky you have multiples. I've exhausted them all now. Now I just play musical chairs with my ISPs to get them to fix it. All right, there's a voice. I really don't want to kill this and give them an extra thing. So we're just going to kill it on our turn with this probably Bone Crusher Giant. Stomp. All right, we stomp it away. Voice makes a token. My opponent's playing around Blood Moon, obviously. They're well versed with what we play. Luckily, we have 2 spot removals here. Got to work our way up to these spot removals, considering Bridge is not very good with all of our lands. My opponent cast a Tangled Flora Hedron, which is a 1/1 that also adds mana, and they attack for 2. Okay. Chandra's kind of nice here. Let's go ahead and abrade one of these. And let's go ahead and bolt the other one. Just trying to use up all of our mana. I'm not going to give them mana this turn. So we'll bolt, and we'll pass. Do you have the ability to get business internet service at your house? Fun story. I actually tried. And the rep wouldn't let me buy it. They said, oh, we'll have to come out and install it. And I was like, that sounds great. And then all they did the rest of the call was give me prices for residential stuff. What's funny is based on what the quote was for the business thing, that was the deterrent, it was the same price once you installed it. It was the installation fee. And I was like, cool, I'll install. And they're like, no, we're not going to let you do that. So I don't know if it's just they can't install at a residential location. That would kind of make sense. But yeah, we're going to play Chandra here. We're going to get rid of the Risen Reef. Really don't want this card to be sticking around here. This generates way too much value. And we're going to pass the turn. But yeah, they literally were like, I said, can I get pricing for business install? Just because I was just curious. And they're like, yeah, it'll be blah, 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 blah. Here's the rates now for your house. I was like, what about the rates you just quoted me? This, Uncle DB, this has been fine until literally the past 2 weeks. It has been completely fine until the last 2 weeks. Which is the longest anything's been fine. One of these went me, one of these went to Chandra. We have a scrying sheets, which I really don't want to be using here, and we have a bridge. I need to get these in before Thunderkins take over this game. We're just hyper aware that my ISP is being like goofy here because we stream most of the nights. And so like your own ISPs out there probably hiccup from time to time, but you're just not on them constantly. I have fiber. And that's the fun part, right? I have the fibers. And on a good day, it's between like 600 and 900 megabits down. On a bad day, like I just did the test run, it was showing me 120 down. Now down doesn't matter for streaming. It's the upload. You'd be surprised at how many people, when you talk to general customer service and you're like, That's great. You can sell me on all the download that you want. What's the upload? And they're like, why would you want that? I don't know. I don't know, man. I just want the upload. We kill a Thunderkin here. They attack with one Thunderkin. Probably going to get Risen Reef back just to get some advantage here. I eat all the grains, get all the fiber that I need. Did they find another Thunderkin? I don't know what they're finding. I'm not looking. They hit me for 2. We're down to 15. Scrying Sheets hopefully will let me get rid of this card. Exactly, Lauder King. Before I upgraded to fiber, I got something like 40 down and 20 up. Now I get, it doesn't matter how much down, I get 40 up. It's like, what? Alright, we got a Flamekin here. They're gonna put what, an elemental on top. They get a wooded foothills here. They reveal this, right? With the 65K dial up. I know, right? That's me dialing in. No, 65K, man. 56K is... Okay, yeah, that's what, as fast as it could go. All right, my opponent's got this Omnath in their hand. They're doing all kinds of stuff here. I kind of wonder if they have an answer to bridge main decked here or not. These are a lot of 1/1s that they have. Back to the Magic. As long as the frames don't keep dropping too bad, we'll play. But if they do, we'll have to call it a night shorter. And I'm going to have to call some people. All right. Well, Blood Moon allows me to at least make their mana really frustrating going forward, which is good for us. We'll play Blood Moon and we're going to play Bone Crusher. Mom, don't pick up the phone. Don't dial out. No. My download. I've been here the whole time, just tired. Moon should be close. It just depends, Stickball, if they have an Ingot Chewer main. With Tron Prison being a thing, they might. Like right here. This could be it. This could be the Ingot Chewer right here. Oh, it's just a Fury. Their answer to Bridge was to Fairy. It could also be Ingot Chewer. They're still playing. We don't know what their answers are yet. We're just here to play Magic. Looking for another bridge. I don't know. They could. They could. I don't know. Here's another bridge. That might be enough. You don't know. There's enough affinity around to at least have one chewer. It kills things. Oh, I'll go get that. Oh, there's plenty of hammer around. Ingot Chewer. If I was playing elementals, I would have a 1 of Ingot Chewer in the list. Just saying. But I'm weird like that, you know. I get all crazy with the meta and everything like that. It's just what I do. Maybe Foundation Breaker. Yep, they could have that too. All right, we'll chance them having a way to bounce Bone Crusher Giant here. If they're able to bounce it here, they get to attack with a 1/1 and get like Risen Reef back and do weird things here. We need a Chalice on 1 to stop the Flamekin or the other mana producing elemental. Why don't we just find Koth or Chandra and just win the game instead of trying to protect ourselves here? My opponent's tapping mana, but we don't know which mana. Planeswalker. All right. Well, this isn't the worst because it'll help me search for a win condition when I keep missing. And I can use this and still cast everything in my deck because I have 6 cards. And it does look like we're dropping more frames, so we might only play 1 league tonight, which is really disappointing. Yes, it is Stickball. You can see the deck list by doing ! deck. You know this. All right. I don't want Blood Moon. I don't think I need another Blood Moon. Let's cycle this. I guess I'm afraid of a Seasoned Pyromancer being the thing I cycle into. I'm currently 3-1. The list seems fine, and it's probably a good way to approach Prison style if you don't like trying to hard lock your opponents out of the game. I'm on internet. You got this. Chandra played here. If I find Bridge or Blood Moon off this, I cast. Otherwise, I hit him for 2. Maybe I hit him for 4. Let's do that. Let's hit him for 4. I forgot Chandra's Regulator works on the uptick too. I just think of it as a good way to get an emblem, but it does work on the up as well, which is pretty good. We're going to find Fury and Mountain, so do 4. I know, Uncle DB. All right, Spyglass, Sweltering Suns, and Snaring Bridge seem okay here. Blood Moon's pretty good. My opponent's going to have ETB things that probably kill my stuff. Chalice would be put on probably 1, and I have a lot of removal on 1, so I'm just gonna do that. Just get rid of it and let's go for it. Start stream button's hard to find. I guess Grayus Zale and I mean, I don't know if I trust Stickball, but just let me know if the frame rate drop is bad. Because if it's bad enough, I might not do a league number 2 and maybe, I don't know what I'll do. Start shopping around for another ISP. There you go. When do the Olympics end? Forget when the closing. Isn't the closing ceremonies this coming week? Just looks like slow MTGO. Okay. So it's not great. Yeah, but I don't like to give everyone stuttery content. I get what you're saying. I think you're right, Grace. I think it's like the 8th or the 9th. I want to say it was coming up this weekend, but something tells me it's a little bit longer. Tokyo Olympics are the 8th, yeah. They are the 8th. Okay, so on the 8th, I can start shopping around again. All right, I'm going to keep this. We have Bridge, we have 2 removals, and I'm able to get rid of an Aether Vial here. Seems okay. Go ahead, opponents. We're 3-1, looking for that 4-1 here. Up a game against Elementals and an opponent that does know us. Flamekin, you like the keep? Me too. Exactly, Grace. It'll take a while to get here anyway, scheduling things out. The problem is that scheduling any of them out, it's just going to be like, I don't know. It's just going to be a mess. My opponent gets a Risen Reef. We get another Bone Crusher. Not a bad card. All right, we got some damage to throw down at my opponents here. I'm going to kill that Risen Reef whenever it shows up. being able to cast all my spells. I can always cast my spells. Just when? That's debatable. Looks like my opponent's going to come in here for 1. Give the big hug for 1. Or a little hug. It's a little hug. All right, we're going to pass the turn because everything we have is instant speed. I want to kill the Risen Reef. We'll kill it with a Bone Crusher Giant first because the Abrade could be used against an Aether Vial. Windswept Heath lets them go do this. In for 1. And? Cracks a Windswept Heath. Temple Garden. Risen Reef. Gonna kill this now. It doesn't really change anything for them because it either comes into play or not. Okay. All right. Gonna play Bridge here because next turn I can play both Bone Crusher and Abrade for 2. No, I don't think they have 4 Stickball. Oh, unless you mean the Green Force, then yeah, they always have the Green Force. Do we have a second Risen Reef? We do. My opponent's at 13. They're slowly dying to their own Fiery Islet. I take 1 here. They play a Forest. Might be why they didn't fetch. Going to Bone Crusher Giant the Risen Reef here. I want to save the Sweltering Suns for my opponent to put a few more things into play, so I'm going to be a little bit greedy with this. Holding up a Braid doesn't feel bad either. I don't need my second bridge here. I can hold on to it for quite some time. There is a Thunderkin. Look at this. Let's make sure I don't skip over my beginning of combat here. Definitely not a bad thing to be doing. I'll probably play Bone Crusher Giant. Unless my opponent throws out another creature or something. Do I care about like a Vesperlark? Oh. Maybe? Now they get the Risen Reef, so now I Sweltering Suns this. Alright. We'll see how many more creatures I have to deal with here. We'll Sweltering Sun because the Risen Reef gets them value. Next turn, I can play both Bone Crusher Giants if I want to. I'll probably hold this bridge for a little while longer. Looking for Chandra or Koth at this point. Oh my gosh. It's another Risen Reef. Third actual card, Risen Reef. My opponent plays an Arid Mesa here to get another card. He plays a Voice of Resurgence. Risen Reef does its thing. Okay. Chandra Regulator, huh? Oh, Bone Crusher plus Chandra Regulator seems like an okay thing to do. Nice slow magic here. Regulator in play. Pass the turn. $10 to $16, huh? All right. We kind of missed it, kind of didn't. It's a Force of Vigor here. My opponent's playing a Fury. They get rid of the Chandra Regulator and Ensnaring Bridge, so they got the most value out of it. Doesn't totally surprise me. 4 damage into Bone Crusher Giant. They do the Risen Reef thing. I at least have another bridge to follow this up, plus Bone Crusher Giant. They'll attack me for what appears to be 3, and they have 2 cards in hand. So definitely doing the things here. I would like to draw probably another bridge if possible, just to have a backup bridge to this one that could die. All right, we'll play bridge. At this point, I'll probably just shoot the Risen Reef since I drew another Bone Crusher Giant. Keeping in mind that I have lots of Skreds and bolts and other things like that. So killing Risen Reef here, 2 Bone Crushers in exile, a Fury, Voice of Resurgence, 3 unknown cards, and a Fiery Islet over there on my opponent's side. 1 Force of Vigor has already been used. We'll keep hitting that F6 button. I'll narrate through what we have here going on in case it skips on the screen. Fiery Islet is cycled, drawing another card. 4 cards in my opponent's hand. Puts Kahira to hand, 5 cards to hand now. Which means they probably didn't draw anything of relevance here, or they have like another Fury that just really doesn't have a target at this point in the game. All right, draw step for us. We draw another Bone Crusher Giant. I'm going to go ahead and play the 2 Bone Crushers that are in the exile zone, just to create some blockers here. That way we can keep the other one in case we find Risen Reef, number 5, 6, 7, or whatever. All right, so 2 Bone Crushers in, pass turn. The other thing is that I can kill the Kahira. Kahira is a 3/2, and I believe it's other creatures get the bonus, not Kahira themselves. So playing Shinobi tonight, round 1 versus Rhinos. I get to cast 2 Crashing Footfalls and kill them with Rhinos. Nice. There's a Muldrifter. Draws 2. Nice Justice. My opponent plays a Sunbaked Canyon. They are approximately halfway through their library, 11 minutes to 17 minutes. Bone Crusher in our hand. Play our Land Pester. I can at any point hit the Muldrifter. That would create a bigger creature for them for the Voice of Resurgence. So I probably am not planning to do this with the Bone Crusher Giant. One thing I could also do is throw the Bone Crusher Giant stomp damage upstairs. We've been killing Risen Reefs. At this point, though, I've gotten enough Bone Crusher Giants, I could have killed them. They wouldn't have used the Fiery Islet as much, though, if they were getting hit in the face. So we have, what, 2 bolts? I've got Chandra, I've got Koth. I've got things to do. Uh-oh. All right, there goes our bridge. Things are about to get real fun here. My opponent names Cat. That'll get Kahira down. So how do we want to do this? Block here. Block here. Take 3. On our turn, shoot this. Play Bone Crusher. We really just need another bridge. That's what we need. By the way, it's good to know that they have wear and tear. I think I'm just going to take this damage and play into Bone Crusher on our turn, taking 3 instead of giving them 2 more creatures. We're going to give them 1 with a voice. I'm pretty close to just dying again. Alright, so if I were to shoot this, this becomes a 5/5. This is 2, 2, and 3. I block the 3, 2, 4, plus 5 is 9. Go to 1. I would need a bridge right after. We'll play to our bridge out, assuming my opponent has... I can block... No, I can't block the elemental. I need them to not have an elemental here. If they don't have an elemental, I have 1 draw. If they have an elemental, we go to game 3. They have a Thunderkin. That'll do it. Okay, so we got to beat elementals here. Really wish I had a Torp Orb. Do we have any changes? Not really. I haven't seen an Aether Vial yet. I still think Spyglass is okay. Maybe I take 1 Spyglass and bring a Crater Maker in just as another removal. It does kill an Aether Vial too. We'll try it. We tries it. We didn't see an Ephemerate either. We didn't see either. We haven't seen any of it. I don't feel very strong with the Chalice and 1 idea here. I think we just have to try to keep removing things. We needed a Chandra or a Koth earlier in that game. We can get our own Furies and start to attack them. I mean, we have a lot of removal, so... Alright, so let's play first. If I draw 2 lands, we're good. I'm going to keep. We don't have a way to really fetch for bridge. Having the bridge actually in hand's kind of nice. We know that they have Force of Vigor, and that's probably how they're going to get rid of these cards, though. It's a trap. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's a trap. We got the Fury to take care of a few of the initial creatures as well. Lands are good. All right, we have Wooded Foothills and a Windswept Heath here. They're giving me the turn back. Never mind, big brain. I'm going to go ahead and just slam the Blood Moon here. I'm hoping to follow this up with a Chandra. They're going to fetch a probably Forest and Plains here unless they have the Force in hand. Cool. All right. So they kept their hand. It was slower, but they were able to fetch to get around Blood Moon. We kept our hand because Blood Moon. Steam Vents for our opponent. We have a Vesper Lark. The first thing that my opponent casts is a Vesper Lark. All right, we're going to play Chandra. We're going to just uptick for damage. We're going to pass the turn. I'm hoping to get this Fury down. Up damage. Pass turn. Braid would have been nice. a braid would have been nice because it kills something. We'll see if Vesper Lark's LTB matters here or not for us. Here's 4. Okay, little Foundation Breaker. Gonna get rid of our Blood Moon here. Fury can kill both of these, which is okay for us. They attack what I assume is Chandra. Yep. Take Chandra down to 3. All right, let's go up here. I'll cast another Blood Moon because I have the extra Chandra here. Ooh. Ooh. Cast Koth. Cast Koth. We're going to go for mountains here. And we're going to actually put a Fury into play. And by putting the Fury into play, I can kill both of these. We can then play probably Bridge to try to protect both of these. And get them, one of them to an emblem, right? Right? It's got to be possible. I got a blocker now. They don't really have anything that targets. I guess they have their own Furies. But Fury right now can't kill both of these, so. Uh-oh. Cap him. Casting Fury? Looks like it. Oh, hard cast Muldrifter. Okay, you got it. You got it. Drifty boy. Okay. I mean, do I just hit for 10 here? Like, I hit for 10, next turn I could kill them. One, two, three, 4. Do I just play a Chandra's Regulator and go up with Chandra, Torch of Defiance? And pay the 1 and double down? It's 4 damage that way either way. I'm leaving a Muldrifter here if I do this. If I leave the Muldrifter, the Koth gets killed here. Let's go ahead and kill the Muldrifter, mainly because I have another Chandra. I don't need to use this. Let's go ahead and use... Actually, I don't have to use Scrying Sheets yet. Untap and hit for 10. This is pretty good. Hitting for 10 puts them down to 6. If I get to attack with Koth here, I'm good. If I get to use Chandra twice, I win as well because of the regulator. And I have like bridges to defend the second Chandra if things get really scary. All right, so my opponents should be at 6 here. Your move, opponent. Close game. Never mind. A Solitude was used and I lost my Fury. They're at 12, though. And an Engineered on 4. So I need like an Abrade off the top. Never mind. They played a land and were able to pop Engineered Explosives immediately. All right, let's go ahead and use our scrying sheets. A little bit of a confusing term, but basically they solituded and all kinds of good stuff. So that's okay. We're going to play a Chandra. We have a bajillion bridges after this. All right, so 3, 4, play Chandra. I could put a bridge into play. Most of the things that are hasty are on 1, though, so I think I'm going to go damage the first time. And we'll use Regulator here to do it twice. Can't cast Bone Crusher, obviously. 2 upstairs. Can't, what with this one? Aw, Fury. Bummer. Cool. Down to 7, my opponent goes. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 8 mana. If I draw a land here, maybe we can do something. I'm a little bit afraid of like a Thunderkin. My opponent has a Wear and Tear, which I'm trying to bring up, and the Chandra Regulator does die here. We have a Flamekin as well. I'm going to reveal a card and put it on top. So I guess I'm playing 2 bridges here. Trying to defend Chandra, getting Chandra all the way up to an emblem status. Okay. Well, we'll see if they have another force here. I think it's going to be Blood Moon plus Bridge. So there's a Blood Moon. And here's a Bridge. Okay, my opponent will need an island to get Omnath. Now, the Flamekin can come through and hit Chandra, so Chandra's probably not going to emblem. I'm going to have to just uptick with Chandra and try to kill them in 3 turns. I think Blood Moon stops, though, Omnath and gives us only those 3 turns, because if they kill and we're able to play, any lands would end up kind of negating what I'm trying to do. My opponent has a Force of Vigor. This does mean that they are going to probably play the Omnath as they ditched a Risen Reef. Omnath's played here. My opponent gains life by playing a Wooded Foothills. I apologize for some of the skipping around. Magic Online not behaving here. Opponent attacks for 1 at Chandra. Fetches with Wooded Foothills. This means they get a bunch of mana. So they're looking to either play something or put Kahira into hand. I play a Risen Reef. Gets a card to hand. And plays a Flamekin, revealing. Oh. Well, that's semi-broken now. Wear and Tear and bigger, and they have the other elemental that comes into play, ETBs, and blows stuff up. Okay. My opponent gets a Fury. Okay. All right, so my opponent has a Fury here. They're at 10, meaning the Omnath is pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So Scrying Sheet, Scrying Sheet. We're going to uptick here. Mainly for damage. I would love to kill the Risen Reef. I don't think they're going to get that much value out of it here, though. I'm going to say no to that and play both bridges. The Fury's going to come down, taking Chandra down to 2. Omnath may not be super beatable here, unless I get like a follow-up Chandra where I can Chandra kill the Omnath and play new Chandra to deal damage. Another Chandra's Regulator might work here too. All right, I'm expecting Fury. Okay, Fury, Risen Reef plus Fury, 4 damage at Chandra. In some ways, I need them to avoid lands. So every land I don't see off Risen Reef is like sort of a win. Because then Omnath's not gaining them life. All right, top of the library is a land. We're going to go up here for damage, but also to see what's on top. I think anything that kills Omnath's worth playing. So if I find myself another Fury, which I do. So I think this is worth playing not only as a blocker here, but to kill Omnath. I'd love to kill the Risen Reef. I don't know if I can, though. Because Omnath gains them life. And that's not what we want going on here. All right. Your move, opponent. This game may come to time. We'll see. By the way, these are all my bridges. So if they're able to kill these 2 bridges, I'm done. In terms of protecting. My opponent plays a new Omnath. Gets a Risen Reef trigger plus Omnath trigger. Card goes to hand. This is a this is a different Omnath. I was like, why did Chandra die? That's because it's this Omnath. It's not Gain Life Omnath, it's Locust of Royal. Time them out. We'll see, we'll see. They make their Fury larger here. They can invoke a Foundation Breaker here to kill 1 bridge. And by evoking this, they get the Risen Reef triggers and stuff. I'm but another evoked creature away from losing my bridge here. Looking for Chandra and Chandra only. By the way, they're making their Fury gigantic. It's a 5/5 now. Seasoned Pyromancer is an interesting one. We'll cast it. Draw some cards. Blood Moon's not bad. Let's go ahead and play a Blood Moon. Make things a little bit awkward for them. We will pass the turn, and my opponent could attack me for 3. Or sorry, 2, with 2 not getting through, but I don't think they'll do that. I could also Bone Crusher the Risen Reef there, but I think the Blood Moon shuts down the cards that they're drawing a little bit better. Alright, my opponent casts a Kihira. Plays a land. Grows Fury again. Top of the library is a land. We'll get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of this Risen Reef. And then we'll play out the Bone Crusher Giant. Looks like this one is going to come to time. Very close game, though. Do they get the removal for bridge here and probably the top, probably 3 or 4 cards? That's what it's going to come down to, I think. And we can't concede because if I were to top deck like Chandra into potentially like Regulator, we could kill them in 2 to 3 turns. It's whoever would top deck first. Sweltering. I think a cycle here is better. We could kill some things, but then I don't have any blockers. Nice. Attempting to tap 4 mana. There's Chandra. Chandra will go to 5, which puts it outside the range of 1 Fury. Doesn't put it outside the range of 2 Furies. Up we go. Probably dealing 2. Snow-covered mountain pass. 6 to 23. Their turn. Plays a Voice of Resurgence. That is fine. Passes back to me. I have 5 minutes for Magic Online to catch up to me. We'll play our land. We're going to uptick. A lightning bolt is 3 damage. I will send the lightning bolt upstairs instead of just 2. Okay. They're at 3. Lightning bolt off the top kills them. Chandra uptick twice kills them. Chandra with a regulator off the top kills them. Okay, they get a Fury. Do they have a second Fury here? They have 5 mana. They could evoke one. They could ephemerate this one. Everyone's talking about maybe the ephemerate. Does 4 damage to Chandra. They're doing something else, and I have no idea what they're doing. I can hear it, though. We'll recap it after. Magic Online. They play 2 Thunderkins to follow up. Okay, we play our mountain. We uptick. Bolt kills. Seasoned Pyromancer, as tempting as that is to go looking for the bolt, I don't want to do that. We could end up with 2 lands and then things get really weird because then they could attack the Chandra and kill it. We're going to go with dodge 1 time. No, they cast another Fury. I have to find a Bone Crusher Giant now or my Bolt. I'm out of Chandras. I believe, yeah. I'm out of Chandra's, I think. No, I have one Chandra left. Bolt, Bone Crusher, Chandra. I don't see a reason to hold on to a card here. I have one Chandra Regulator left. Mr. Fringe stats are right below me. My opponent plays a Windswept Heath here, growing a creature with Omnath. We got the GGs and good luck in the league. Which means we got a 4-1. We got a 4-1. We'll see if Magic Online lets me draw a few cards to see how deep that was. Come on, Magic Online, you can do this. Return to game. Draw a card. Season Pyromancer, we'd play, draw 2, and we'd hit the Bone Crusher. It was the next draw. We had the next draw to get it. And if we played the first Bone Crusher, we would not, or the first Season Pyromancer off the Bone Crusher, we wouldn't have had it. So we had it the next draw. Not bad, not bad. 4-1. 4-1 with Skred. Pretty much a 3-2. Pretty much a 3-2. It was on the top. How can you tell me it was pretty much a 3-2 when the winning is right there on the top? Go to turns. Turn 1, kill you. Stomp. 4-1. Skred. It does things. Let's look at the list here. Come on, Magic Online. You can do this. Furies. Chandras, Koths, Bolts, and Skreds. Wasn't bad. Very aggressive. Chandra's Regulator did a few things. I'm impressed. Skred's got something here. No dragons, but Fury. 4-1. 4-1.